sit quietly and observe. So if you have a scared kid, you wouldn't sit far over that. But we have a little checklist. And we just have one in there. We used to do it where the kids would mark it all up and be able to draw on Google. But for this unit, we're just doing a little honeybee pond. So it asks questions like, describe the flower. Is there a bee? Does the bee have pollen on its legs? Is it collecting nectar? So just questions to kind of get them thinking. So after they do that, we're going to have the ability for kids to dissect flowers. This is something else a volunteer would need to bring in is some flowers. Probably 4 or 5 flowers, depending on how big your class is for the rotation. So each group of kids can dissect a flower. We have parts of a flower, so if you really want to get technical. And we just really want to illustrate the importance of pollination. As I did in the video, they had some great factoids in there. So we have a Zacto knife and a cutting board in here. And the Zacto knives are, of course, for adult use only.
Also in the center, if you want to bring in another piece of fruit, like an apple or something, and cut it in half, you can see the seeds in the middle of the apple and talk about that. And then one thing I thought was really interesting, bees cannot see red flowers of any type. So birds have to pollinate all red flowers because they have compound eyes and they have ultraviolet vision, and they can only see patches on the flower. It's kind of like this 3D ultraviolet vision. Pretty funky. I think there is a handout on that somewhere.
Yes.
Yes.
I
You
can
wanna
move
put
it
that
to
on
the
there?
center.
Do autofocus. So we see a flower just like normal. The bee sees it on all these like little hexagon patterns, and then it's honed in on where the nectar is and the pollen.
So maybe we'll look at this to center 5.
Yeah. So, and if you do end up doing the center, normally you only have time for 4 centers, so you're going to have to pick and choose which ones you want to do. But I think the kids would really enjoy like dissecting the flower and finding the pistil and the stamen and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's about it. But definitely reiterate the fact that 1/3 of the total human diet is derived directly from insect-pollinated plants. 80% of those from honeybees. So honeybees play a huge role in pollination. So, and there's over 250 species of flowering plants.
Those little factoids are there for you. So that's that.
It just occurred to me, if I can keep my Easterlily alive,
Yes.
the really large flowers would be fun.
Yeah, I would say the lilies are the best because they really show parts of the flower.
Tulips are blooming too, and daffodils, and they have pretty good standards and things. So. Okay.
Yeah, and we already talked about the conclusion and bringing in a snack. Oh, did you want to tell them about the Rice Krispie and Cocoa Krispies or whatever?
Oh, it's just a cute idea. Yeah, it's a cute idea. I don't really know how you do it, but you can make Rice Krispie treats in the shape of a bee and then stripe them with frosting. If you're really crafty.
Or use cocoa stuff and rice.
Yes. Biddle honey candies are good, but they contain peanuts, so definitely check for your allergies in your classrooms. Honeycombs, I like that idea the best, and honey sticks, so those are.
Do only honeybees pollinate flowers or all the 25,000?
250,000 flowering plants, is that the number?
No, look, do only honeybees pollinate
No.
flowers?
Lots of insects. Every kind, well, I don't think yellow jackets do, but bumblebees do.
Do they all make honey or only the honeybees?
Honeybees make honey, I'm not sure.
No, we just thought that
We were
bees
so
make honey,
focused
but
on
honeybees
honeybees.
make the most.
Honeybees make the most honey,
But all
yeah.
bees make some
I think that's
amount of honey.
somewhere in there.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy.
So honeybees are the only ones that make this big circle.
Oh, okay, that makes
So what
sense.
kind of bees are in our yard?
Probably honeybees and bumblebees.
Like in your backyard?
Yellow jackets.
Lots.
And
Red
in
grass.
Center 1, they have all the different types of bees. It probably talks about that.
More slides, and it talks about
I know the
the
difference.
stinging
I know
insects
the
is what one
difference
sheep
between-
has. And so, but the most common ones you see is bumblebees, and those are the big black fuzzy ones. And then honeybees are the smaller yellow ones.
Dig up the
What
Another
wasps?
native species. I think one important thing to point out is that honeybees are not native to North America. So they only pollinate the large part. What's been introduced to North America, all the fruit-producing plants. And all the native plants have been pollinated by native bees for a long, long time, long before honeybees got there.
Very interesting.
What's the difference between a wasp and a bee?
But that's in center one.
Oh, okay.
And it's got a picture,
These are questions the kids are gonna ask us.
Oh, I know. And we're not gonna. I won't reading to do on this. Yeah.
Oh, and a big factoid, they've been around 200 million years, and since the time of the dinosaurs, and they've evolved very little. So that's kind of just a factoid.
yellow jackets are a kind of wasp. Their bodies are smooth. They eat other insects. Yellow jackets lay eggs in paper nests. So yellow jackets don't make honey. They're
Yellow jackets are
smooth and not furry. What's that?
So yellow jackets are a wasp.
They're wasps. So they're in the same family because they're insects. So they're in the same kingdom, phylum. They're in the same phylum, and then they're broken down, probably 3 or 4 down there. Class order family, probably the 5th down.
Paper,
where
paper
they-
nests and don't make honey.
Paper
That's
nests
the
don't
biggest
make honey, and they're smooth.
And they eat, and they're predators.
And they're predators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They eat at their insects? Like traditional wasps, you know, like the gangly legs. Yellow jackets. I know there's brown, like a brown.
Yeah. So if you guys don't have any more questions, you can always come up and talk to Carrie and me, but you guys can go ahead and get together in your
And you can taste the
classrooms
honey.
and